Hey guys, have you ever wanted to use a computer? Are you tired of your hands cramping? Well, today you found the video just for you. Cause in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to animate in Krita as a flipaclip user. Now I feel like I need to preface this by saying this is not an animation tutorial. This is not a general animation tutorial. This is just a tutorial on how to use computer animation software when you have grown up using flipaclips. So when you open Krita, it's probably going to look something like this. And that's cool and all, but doesn't really tell us how to do anything. And with the 5 million years we just waited for the software to open, you would think there would be some kind of tutorial, but no. Krita is free and open source, so it is amazing. But the only flaw is it's super laggy. Sometimes just crashes and it has little bugs. But you know what? We've all got a little bit of pizzazz to us, you could say. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click on File, and I'm on my tablet because for some reason Krita works on my tablet, kind of, but you'll probably be on your computer, so you can probably do like 5 million more things than me. So click on File, and then make a new image, whatever size you want it to be, it doesn't matter. I usually stick around 480, and now you are probably wondering, what the actual hell is all of this? What am I supposed to do? There's so much buttons, what does all this do? This doesn't even look like animation. Well, first of all, I know it seems scary, but I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I do not touch half of the buttons in this app. You're gonna click on Window and go to Animation. That's gonna bring you, if it's not there already, it's gonna bring you to the heavenly place, and you're gonna be just as confused, but you're gonna be closer to where you need to be. Once you're in the animation workspace, the next thing in your mind is probably just going to be, let's start the animation, the way that you do on flipaclip. You jump right in, and boom, you can just start drawing. Well, the way to do that is basically the same. You just have to, like I said, ignore 90% of the other things in the software. You're probably gonna start with like the world's shittiest brush ever, so what you're gonna do is click on whichever brush you want. I usually use the paintbrush, and then you can use this little icon to actually edit your brush and make it not horrible. Krita has this problem with pen pressure, so you're on your own with that one, I'm sorry. So these little squares down here, they work pretty similarly to flipaclip. However, there's a few differences that are extremely importantly different. And one of them is the fact that it's more like placing images on a timeline rather than making a bunch of images to go together like a flip book. So you can start drawing, but when you go to the next frame, it's just gonna edit the same drawing, and you don't really want that. So to trigger it into being an actual animation, you have to place a keyframe. So either place a duplicate frame or a blank frame after any frame, and it will create a frame. And then you can create blank frames or duplicate it or move it however you want. You can also change the frame rate by going over here, or you can edit the onion skins, music, /audio, and of course the frame rate. There's also clip ending and starting, which is just choosing where on the timeline you want your animation to be. And you can also start and end it anywhere on the timeline by yourself by right clicking or holding. You can also hold. Another important thing to note is that keyframes can be held. If you drag an image farther away than just once, it will create this little line that basically shows that it'll keep that image instead of having to duplicate it 5 million times. Just holds it. Very, very helpful in my opinion. One of my favorite things about computer software is adding images is a bit complicated, but it's something, and I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but this is the way I do it, so I'll share it with you guys. What we're gonna do is, you're gonna open an image, I can't remember if you can copy it or whatever, in a separate animation instance, and create a blank frame after it so it becomes one frame. And then you copy that frame. Do not delete the original frame you're copying from, or else it will just not copy. So don't delete the instance yet. Go back to your main animation instance and paste where you want it to be. And boom. You can also transform and flip images by right clicking or having them on a separate layer and transforming the entire layer horizontally and dragging it onto the layers. To tween, right click or hold on the layer that you want to transform. Hover over add and click on transform. The most important part about tweening is going over to this keyframe place and putting the original keyframe at the start of the animation no matter what. Never forget this, or it'll be extremely difficult to get your default position back. Nearly impossible, at least for me, unless I'm stupid. And then go back and do whatever you want after that. But make sure you always keep the first frame untouched, so you always have your default position. And the most requested thing I've gotten is definitely the effects. So, to do this, hover, hold, or right click the layer the same way that you would do it for the transforming, except this time, you're going to click on Layer Style. This is where you can add all the kinds of effects you like. and feel free to just fool around with these. There's lots of things in Krita, so I could sit here forever finding things out with you, but this is just a general tutorial to teach you how to actually use the software. I really hope this helped you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye! To render your animation, or see how much time you've spent on it, hover over File, and you can either see Document Information, which tells you everything about your file, or you can click on Render Animation and create your animation into whatever you would like. To actually make your animation, click on Render Animation and choose Export as Video, and then choose Matroska Video or MKV or whatever it says, and choose where you want it to be. But you must have FFmpeg, which literally just search up FFmpeg on Google and you'll find it. And once you have it downloaded, you just click on this, choose FFmpeg location, and click on where it is in your computer, and then boom. You can't do it on tablet, so I don't know. I just turn mine into PNG sequence and then just turn it into GIFs or animations manually. I don't know.